Now, it's been a while since I've done a video on a Kephart subject, something that's pretty specific, but it's something that keeps coming up, and I think it's something worthwhile to discuss and mention and admit, and I don't know, give the pros and cons and just promote something that's going to help you. And that is the idea of taking a saw instead of, say, a hatchet or an axe. Now, Kephart, he believes strongly in his Kephart style knife, and he also believes strongly in his Kephart style axe, which is more or less a tomahawk. It's rather small, lightweight, especially along the trap line. It's quite useful. When it comes to the woods here in Ohio, as in regards to using the axe for splitting, I don't think that's the case of what Kephart was really using it for. You can split some tinder with this, but you're more or less this is for like game preparation, crafting around the camp, things like that. You can use this for carving. You know, it's just basic, right? We're not splitting, we're not building a log cabin. When it comes to other things in regards to larger width possibly, or being more precise, a saw comes in handy. So to that extent, I brought my little stick. This is my demonstration stick that I take with my scouts. So it's got some marks in it. And Hooks Outdoors gave me this at the Gather thing in West Virginia last fall, which, by the way, I'm not paid by them, sponsored by them or anything. But the Gather thing in West Virginia is a great time. It's coming up in the fall. You can buy your tickets now. It's a great time just to see all sorts of kind of people, and they also have classes that you can learn from. It's great. So you should check it out. The Gather thing in West Virginia. It's in the fall. And you should also check out Hooks Outdoors. He gifted this to me, and he didn't pay me for it. And yeah, it's a nice little folding saw, which is what Kephart says. Is like taking a folding saw out in the woods is a good idea. Now, was he talking about a pruning saw? Could be, because they had pruning saws back in the early 20th century. It was very likely. So the stuff that bushcrafters are using today, it could apply. Or was he thinking more like a bucksaw? Because bucksaws can be broken down. I don't know. Either way works, but I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of both and some of the problems with both. So Hooks Outdoors, he has this little kit here, and it's a pretty handy little bucksaw kit. You got your two handles, you got your middle bar, you've got your, I forget what they call this thing, but it basically puts the tension on the string. You've got your string, and you've got your handy dandy little bow saw. It even comes with the guard on it. I'm going to leave the guard on it for just a moment, just to point out how he uses little key rings to stop it from pulling through, instead of like a peg or something like that, which I think that's pretty smart. Now we're going to go ahead and take the ring off. You can slide that saw blade off. As you can see, it's just a standard rake. It's not anything uber fancy. Now this is part where it's going to get kind of tricky, so I don't like cut myself. I'm going to move the camera so you can see exactly how this goes together. It's not brain science or rocket science, anything like that. It's pretty straightforward, but I'm going to show you. Okay, first thing, you're going to put your stick in at least one side. Grab your saw blade and put it on both. That's what's going to hold it steady. And then drop that down and put it together. Okay, so now you've got your pieces in the primary point. Now take your little rope here, wrap it around one end, and puts a little notch right there and there. Then you use this little board, put it in between, you're just going to spin it until it tightens up good and tight. Windlass, that's what this thing is called. It's a windlass. I don't know why my brain wasn't thinking earlier. And I'm going to put that down just a little bit lower so it doesn't accidentally come loose. All right, so now you got yourself your saw. All right, now see how much distance this gives you. You get 9 1/4 inches distance to cut with. And you know, most of us, when we're doing our bushcrafting projects or other projects, that's probably more than sufficient. Now this particular blade that Hook sends with this kit is for green wood. So if you're out in the woods and you are pruning limbs, or if you're using green timber, then that's what this is best for. You're not going to honestly want to use deadfall for the most part when you're trying to do a lot of camp crafting projects anyways, at least for a permanent camp. If you are temporary, then you definitely don't want to go around and cut down a bunch of green timber. That's not a very good ecological use of wood. If it's your own property, you can do whatever you want. But state parks and things like that, they don't look very fondly on that, right? So you're probably going to be using dead timber. So if you're going to be using dead timber, then you want to replace the blade with one that's meant for, well, dry and aged wood. But why would you want to take a saw to go camping anyways? Well, if you need to set up a tent, right? You're going to set up a shelter, something like that, then maybe the saw is going to be more precise. You can be more crafty with it because it is so precise. Put in some clean notches because you got your stop cuts, things like that. And so there's nuances to a saw that give it the edge, if you will, over a hatchet. Everybody has their own way of doing things. If you're going to be creating furniture though, I would say the saw wins pretty much hands down. You can do it with a hatchet, but things are just going to be a lot easier. And if you're making a chair, making a bench, something like that, it's not going to be lopsided, etc. Okay, so I would say that the saw has the benefit in that regard. When it comes to maintenance, I say the hatchet or the axe has the benefit. If you really don't care about weight, then carry both. The various different pruning saws that are out there, they don't weigh a whole lot, and they certainly weigh less than most of the hatchets. So the saw wins out in regards to that, depending on where you live and where you're going camping. Are you going camping where there's a lot of dry wood? If you're going camping where there's a lot of dry wood, there's tons of different ways to break down timber for a fire. If you are making furniture, it's going to be a lot easier to make furniture using green wood than dry wood, just because green wood cuts easier. So in that regard, which one? I would still say the saw because it's going to be more precise. And you can use your knife to cut down through the green wood to make spindles and things like that. The hatchet becomes kind of redundant in that case, unless you're trying to take off a tremendous amounts of wood on large pieces of timber. If that's the case, then I'd go with the hatchet. Long story short, you need to figure out what your plan is before you go outdoors, and then you need to build your kit around what it is that you intend to do. Planning goes a long way when choosing your equipment. And Kephart, Nesmith, Caves, B.S.A, all those guys would say the same daggone thing. Don't just go out willy-nilly without a plan, because then you're going to find out that you forgot something or you're wasting a lot of time. Maybe you're not even having as much fun as you could have if you would have just put a little bit of forethought in it. But if you're looking for a nice little Bucksaw kit that's lightweight, very usable, ready to go, then you should check out Hook's Outdoors, because this thing is really cool for bushcrafting. 9 inches, let's just cut it down to 9 inches, 9 1/4, but 9 inches is plenty big to do, you know, pieces of wood that you're probably going to use for your bushcrafting activities. You don't need anything super long. You don't need a 2-foot bucksaw, something like that. If you like this video, please click like. That way other people find it. We really appreciate it. It helps them out. Don't forget to check out my description box below. There's lots of links on there, affiliate links. There's a link to Hook's shop, which I'm not an affiliate of Hook. He's just a really good friend of mine. You should check him out, and he's got a bunch more bushcrafting things on there. If you're looking for clothing, check out my buddy Nathaniel Logsdon over at 20th Century Adventures. If you're looking for various camp equipment items, then check out Vico Outfitters from Sarge Vining. I don't really have a stake in either of those three. But that being said, if you're interested in getting a really cool cook kit that transcends time, and it's just really neat and it's rare, then I'm offering the Preston Mess Kit. Now, I'm wanting to get this reproduced. We're about 40%, actually we are 40% of the way already there to getting our 500 people to sign up for it to get this thing going. This is your canteen. It has your skillet, has your plate that you can combine together, make a clamshell. You can even use it as a baker or as a storage container, and it comes with a cup. This thing was designed by a military man right before World War I. And if you go look in my description box below, there's a link to sign up for it along with the history on my website, www.honorableoutfitters.com. Which leads me to the next thing, and I've said this for a long time now, and I just realized it thanks to one of you reaching out to me and letting me know. Camp Crafters Guild. So it's $15 per month, right? You get 5 days free trial. Check it out. See if you like it. If you don't, that's fine. You can cancel it, and no hard feelings. But if you jump on the Camp Crafters Guild, it is a camp crafter, a camping, bushcrafting, backpacking, or whatever dream, especially when it comes to historic camping. And if you're into antiques, man, if you're into antiques or the old ways, then at least give it a shot and try us out. Right now, we have a challenge going on this month, and this month's challenge is actually based on living history. We're trying to figure out, based off of your gear, what you kind of want or whatever, how would you narrow it down based off of the person that you're trying to represent? And that's a whole other way of trying to figure out your own camp setup, right? So jump on there, www.honorableoutfitters.com/join the guild. Now, if you'd like to see my videos about woods tools, there's a whole playlist, then check it out here. If you want to check out my video about the Preston Mess Kit, don't forget to get on the list, then check it out here. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Give a kiss and hug to your loved ones, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.